Hey, AfterBuzzers and Siren fans, we are so ecstatic because guess what? On episode 5, we got a reunion. Chris is alive, and we have a very special guest, Hannah Levien, in the studio who plays Janine, and she has some very exciting, surprising news for you. You won't want to miss it, so stick around.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Guys, I tried to imitate this before, and I sounded terrible.
You were close.
I don't even think it sounded remotely
totally
close.
Sounded super close to it. You nailed it.
Well, welcome back, guys, to another after show of Siren, and we have the beautiful Hannah Levien in the studio.
Thank you.
What's
Thank you so
going
much for joining us.
Yeah.
Oh, no, this is awesome. Thank you for having me.
Of course.
Yes.
We were saying you're pulling on more mermaid vibes right now, and you have a fun ring for us. Where'd that come from?
Yes, this ring bling was actually a gift from Ian Verdun, who plays Xander on the show. He
Okay.
threw a really fun sort of after party when the show premiered, and there were all sorts of gadgets and things like this. And actually, Alina and I had the matching mermaid rings. I don't know where hers is, but I have kept mine. It was sort of sitting in my car for a while, like a little memento, and I saw it tonight and was like, I think this needs to come out.
I love it.
Thanks, guys.
It's
so
cute.
fun.
Starting a trend.
Yes,
Trying.
definitely.
Mermaid fashion.
Mermaid jewelry.
Yes.
Well, ladies, before we get into it, let's just introduce our panel. We've got Karla Beltran. What's going
Hey
on?
guys.
And we've got Sarah Lyons.
Hey.
And hey guys, Nasta here. And we cannot wait to get into it because we had so many answers this episode, which I was
Yes.
kind of shocked. It happened
It was a
really
lot.
quick.
Right.
A lot to
did.
take in. First, for starters, we've got Chris and Donna who escape, which was insane to me. Were you guys expecting this to happen this episode?
No.
No, because I personally thought my overall thoughts of the show itself, I don't know where it's going to go now that she's out of the facility.
Exactly.
And that Chris is out of the facility. I thought like the show was going to be based on them being stuck there.
Mm-hmm.
But now that they're both gone, I'm like,
I feel like so much has been resolved.
yeah,
This episode,
exactly.
it's like, wait.
Yeah.
Which is so funny because as soon as Karla said that, it was like, wait, how are they, reunited in the ocean? How does the story go? It's like, that's the mystery. I feel like there's this huge arc that we were expecting this storyline to go, and the fact that it's not going there makes it so exciting.
It really does.
So I know Hannah's like, I can't say much. But you play Janine, who is Calvin's love interest, lady friend.
Yes, that's right. And it's starting to get a little more serious, as we saw in
Yay.
episode 3 when Xander put the little. Well, Calvin put the hard word on Xander to like back off, paying
Yeah.
out his girl. I don't even. Did you?
He
drop
said
the
his girl.
He
His
said
girl.
his girl.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
That's a title.
That's definitely a title, yeah. We will take that as a title for sure.
So yes, the things are definitely kind of been moving a little there, and I think now we're starting to see Janine is kind of more established in the town. She knows the sheriff. She knows what's up. So yeah, there's a ways for her to go yet in the show, which is exciting.
Yeah.
Definitely. And is there anything you can kind of tell us about the basis of who Janine is without spoiling too much?
Well, I think from the glimpse we've had of her so far, she's a little saucy. She speaks her mind. She's not afraid to tell people what she thinks. And yeah, she works in the bar. She's a bartender in the town. She knows a lot of the people there. So I think the general idea is that she's a forward-thinking, sassy young woman, and we'll kind of see where she goes from there.
I can't wait to see. And also, bartenders hold a lot of secrets. So I wonder
They
what
do.
secrets
Yeah.
she knows. That
Over
just
here.
makes me think after seeing this episode and having her serve right there to the sheriff.
Yeah.
She definitely probably knows a lot more than we expect. So I feel my prediction probably for later would be that she's going to be a key factor into helping solve some of this mystery.
Especially because she's going to know everybody. She's going to talk to the young people and the older people who might have contact with Ren.
Yes, or overhear something maybe.
Yes.
You know?
Oh my gosh, yeah, because is this a place where people go hang out at? Where you
totally.
work?
Yeah. So
Okay.
it's called the Anchor, guys. It's like the cool spot in Bristol Cove. So yeah, everyone's getting down at the Anchor. There's a real culture
Yeah.
show. We definitely see a bit of that develop in the show as it goes on as well.
Okay.
So Janine probably got her finger on the pulse a bit.
Yes.
Gonna be
Yes.
hearing different things. So I guess we'll see where all that goes.
You heard it here
Exciting.
first.
We'll be there. We'll be there at the
right.
anchor for you.
So exciting. In other news, we see Rin and Helen kind of bond a little bit, and she starts putting the salt water on Rin, and she was saying, you know, that it was gonna help her. Don't put it in your mouth, and she did anyways. What was very interesting was that Rin noticed that Helen had some on her leg.
Yes.
And Helen called it an autoimmune response when they don't understand what it is. So question, do you think Helen is a mermaid?
Yes, we said that last week.
Or has like mermaid blood or something.
Yeah, or maybe she was like kind of like what
Related.
happened to Chris, where he was attacked by a siren, and now he has that sort of side effect.
Well, yeah, because I was just with the cast watching it at the studios, and that was one thing that even though I'd read the episode ahead of time, like obviously when we were shooting it, I'd read it, but I didn't realize now watching it that we don't like know how serious Chris's injuries are, or really what, because he's been bitten essentially by a mermaid, attacked by a mermaid. So I was thinking, like, is he infected?
What
Because he
happened?
seems really sick, and Chadwick's
does.
doing a great job of playing sick. So props to you, Chad. But really, like, he looks sick, and I was thinking, can people get infected with this? Is it some kind of virus? So I was asking myself these questions because I couldn't. Yeah, I mean, these are things that I guess are yet to be developed, but I did kind of had forgotten about that element of the story because you get so swept up in all the other things that are happening. Like you said, there's so many storylines going on. But definitely the Rin and Helen relationship is it's just so beautiful to watch as well. And lots of questions there. And you have to remember the town of Bristol Cove, and I know you had Renna on the show last week, so I know she would have expounded on this more, but it has a history for mermaids. So we don't know what that history involves in terms of have people, you know, they've worked among them before, maybe that's what the legend is, but how true is that and what does that really mean?
Yeah.
And who has had those interactions
Yes.
and what that means. Yeah.
And we even, was it, Karla, was it your prediction that, or I think we all kind of agreed, we think that Ben's mom is secretly a mermaid, or was, like, she has some sort of ties.
How did she get in the
I-
wheelchair?
I said that she had been attacked by a mermaid, and that's why she can't walk anymore. We said that we thought Maddie's mom is the mermaid.
Missing. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Right.
Guys, you have some theories.
I know. It could all be totally wrong, but that's what we
Conspiracy theorists at AfterBuzz.
Yes.
So,
These are great ideas. I mean, I've been looking at the tweets, and there's definitely some conspiracy theories going on, and some of them are really interesting. And you know, it's going to be an exciting next few episodes. It's only a 10-episode show, so there's a lot yet to unravel.
Cover.
we're halfway through, which I can't even believe it's already
I know.
episode 5.
Yeah.
I feel like they always mess me up when they do 2 episodes first.
Yes.
Oh, yeah,
Because
totally.
I'm like waiting,
Okay,
you know,
yeah.
you want it to go longer. And you're like, wait, why did you give me 2 in 1? Like, I want it to go longer. But anyways, going back to the storyline and Rin and Ben and Maddie, I think all of their relationship is very fun. Last week we were like, what's going on here? Is there a romance happening with all of them? But I think you can kind of see just the general love that they all share for each other. And it is officially, I think, more of a concern factor considering they gave her the tracking necklace.
Yeah,
And they
exactly.
told her,
Yeah.
you can take this off if you
Yeah,
want.
I think concern and curiosity too, because he was, when Maddie was kind of called him out, like, I don't want her to feel like we're testing her.
Yeah.
He wanted to trust her still. So
Which made me feel so much better because I remember, was it last week when they were testing her? Or was it? I think it was a week prior when they were kind of interviewing her in a way, but also filming her at the same time. And I felt uncomfortable for her. I just felt like they were studying her rather than actually being friends with her. So the fact that they gave her the option to, hey, you could use this and we can know where you are and we could find you in case if you need our help. And then the comment that she said, it just made it feel like, okay, they do care for her and they think of her more as a, not necessarily like a person, but as a being rather than like a
something they care
species.
for.
Yeah.
Right, totally.
Yeah, I loved the moment, like, when Ben and Maddie were discussing whether to use the tracking device.
Yeah.
And thinking, well, I was thinking, what's their real motivation? Like, what's his motivation? Like, is it just curiosity? Is it more that he's kind of attached to Rin, like he doesn't want to let her go?
Yeah.
And same for Maddie. We don't quite know, does she have feelings for Rin? We're watching their relationship develop. Obviously, yes, they're interested in her as a species. What is she? They've just discovered her. But at the same time, is there more? You know, like
That's what
this
we were
is
wondering.
romance
Yeah.
brewing. So.
Well, But what's going to be a terror is that Ben and Maddie are both going to fall in love with her in some
attracted
way.
to her.
That was our first initial response.
Totally.
And reaction to everything.
I know, and Rin is so fascinating to watch, and it's just wonderful to watch her discovery of everything in the human world, and it's really, it's like even when they're testing her kind of as a specimen, that sort of thing, you know, you see that with humans and animals, but it's different seeing it with humans and a human, essentially a human, she looks like a human, but obviously in the water she's something else. I think that's really interesting to watch.
Yeah, definitely.
Totally. And in terms of discoveries, we see Xander and Calvin team up with Maddie and Ben, and they're really discovering Donna's house, and that obviously when the facility members come into Donna's house, they realize something's up. This is not okay. Maybe Donna might not even be coming home now.
Exactly. Yeah, when they come and grab all her stuff to cover up, you know, all the secrets and everything. Yeah. It's like, okay, what do we not know?
And who are they?
Who are they, and how did they know where everything was?
Right, they just walked right in there.
What were all the piggy banks that she had? What were there for? I wonder if there was I personally thought that there was a meaning behind it, just because I look at sometimes some set stuff and I'm like,
there's nothing wasted for sure. Like there's a reason they wrote that in there.
Right. Oh my gosh. There's just so much, and even the facility, obviously now that they blew it up,
burned it down.
Oh my all the evidence is gone now.
Really quick, we need to talk about this. When, speaking of kind of fire and ash, when her tail was on the floor and it turned into gravel, that was crazy. Because I'm thinking, why and how did that happen? That I had so many questions about that because it was just there.
I saw a tweet. I wish I could remember the tweeter. I feel like I should give you a shout out. But about it was the mermaid shedding its tail now. Is that kind of what happens? So there's just so many cool ways that the creators of the show can go with exploring what it means to be a mermaid. And I love the bones cracking underwater and all that stuff that they made with the transformation. So cool.
And I wonder if this is the first time that both Rin and her sister have been on land, you know? Because, she was walking. I know they're really intelligent, but she just, okay. Now
Donna, this is what they're calling her sister now. We did see her stumble at the beginning when she's walking, when Ron Juan, who plays Deco, when he's watching, they're on the camera. You can see her stumbling. It's like...
But then she knew to put clothes on, and she just...
She was definitely studying them from, the beginning.
That's right, she was. There's that really cool moment where he says, we thought it was us studying them. It's exactly how he speaks. Not really.
She was so quick with it. And Alden is so curious to me because when he went to the water, what are you expecting is going to happen there? He's just staring at the water. You think they're going to come back, and I can't tell if he's completely bad or semi good.
I think he's really intrigued, and that's why, when you could tell that it was really hurting her, all the tests and stuff, he was really influential. Let's back off a little bit. He didn't want her. He really wants to learn, but not hurt them at the same time. I don't think he's a terrible person.
I personally think that he probably is a good person, but you could tell, how Maddie has this connection with her, and so does, I don't know why I'm forgetting his name.
Ben.
Ben. Because she sang the song, or she sang their song to them, and the Siren sang her song to him. So I think that's where that connection comes from, because that's why Maddie and Ben are kind of have this connection with Rin.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so true.
I think you're onto something there.
That makes so much sense now.
Yeah.
Really quick, guys, I want to say, if you are listening on the podcast, we have a live chat up, and I feel so bad because we've neglected it a couple of times in the past week, but we have some fans in there, and I know that you guys have some thoughts that you want to share, and we're seeing it. We want to shout you out, so please be sure to continue in there, and we will try to shout you out as much as possible.
Woohoo!
I feel bad. They were like, oh no, I don't think they see us, but we see you guys. We're listening.
We see you.
We virtually see you guys. But yeah, no, that is such a great point that they be connected to that siren.
It's the siren song.
Yeah, it's almost like vampires. You know how they're connected to their sires?
Yeah, it's hypnotized.
Yes, and we don't know how powerful the mermaids are yet. Obviously we see their... Oh, we keep hitting this microphone, sorry. we see they're physically very strong, and we know they're very adaptable, but we don't know what other kinds of powers they have yet
Yeah.
in
Right.
terms of is it the song or what's, you know. So there's a lot yet.
I
to
didn't even
discover.
think about the powers part.
Well, you know.
You know what I was expecting though? What I was hoping when they were in the car driving, I was hoping that she would realize that he was sick and then do something magical
A healing
and
power.
heal him.
That's what I was
yes.
expecting.
Okay. At
Just,
least
you know, help him out.
Yeah.
Touch it.
Like I hadn't seen really much of that sequence yet at all, and I was just loving it. I'm like, oh my gosh, I want this like Chris and Donna getaway, like a duo. It was just so fun. Like there were some really funny moments in the car and the heavy metal music. And
Oh my god.
we think she's getting into it, and then I really enjoyed that whole sequence actually, and nice comedy to break up. Obviously, what was pretty a serious moment for them, for sure.
Yeah, that's so funny because I almost looked at Karla. I was like, what is she gonna do? What is she gonna do with the
He's
children?
already hurt. Like, please don't hurt him.
Yeah, poor Chris.
Poor Chris. Yeah, but I think he is gonna be a merman. I think he's got merman juice in him now.
Yeah, I'm excited to find out about that as well.
Totally.
I think he's going to be affected kind of like Helen was affected.
Oh.
How we think Helen was.
I think Karla, like, you're making so many good points, and I am on to all of them.
Yes.
You got some mermaid theories. I like these.
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, so many good mermaid theories. We want to look at you guys in the chat really quick. I know that Ivan Soto is there, and he is saying, I guess Ryan's sister isn't Maddie's mother. She would have recognized her mother. Sorry for those that thought she was.
Oh, that's yeah.
Oh, so some
Sorry, I said Ryan. I meant to say Rin.
Rin's sister.
Right.
Oh. Yeah, because we did say that. We said that Maddie's mom would be Donna.
Rin's sister, which would
Yeah.
be Donna.
Yeah.
Okay,
And so I kind of noticed that too because when they saw each other, it wasn't like there was an immediate connection. I did kind of suspect because she was staring at her like something, I don't know, like
What
something
happened,
was
yeah.
brewing. But I think it was more she was sad that Rin was walking away. Than
That's what it looked like to me.
Yeah.
But I haven't heard that theory, so that's maybe. Yeah.
I mean, we know definitely that Maddie is somehow special. We don't know
Right.
how, but we know that she's special.
Yeah, because there's still that mystery of what happened to her mom. Is
What
she
happened to
gonna
her
come back?
mom, and
What
then
is
the
she- what's
story that has been
connection?
told to her about like the Raven and stuff. So
Yeah.
So many juicy details. It's so great that we do have these almost closed circles because then it just leaves so much room for them to fill all of the gaps in those
Yeah.
circles. Because sometimes when you have these storylines, they're so large and big that you almost get confused. And now that we have one closed loop, we can figure out the rest of what's behind it.
Yes.
You know? So exciting. I cannot wait for episode 6. But guys, I think we need to get in some news and gossip and learn a little bit more about Hannah and what she's got going on.
AfterBuzz TV News.
So, first of all, we need to tell everybody you are from Brisbane, Australia.
That's right. I'm an Aussie, so yes, currently in LA right now. But I also spend quite a bit of time in Canada filming, so definitely a bit of an international mix going on.
cool.
So, how long have you been out in the States or Canada for that matter?
I first came to the US officially about 7 years ago. So I was here initially for about 6 months, then kind of back to Australia. I was going back and forth for a while.
Right.
I first went up to Canada around the time I filmed a series called The Returned. I did a couple of episodes on that for A&E. And that was awesome. I spent a bit of time up there. It was summer. And if you haven't been to, I was in Vancouver specifically. Vancouver in the summer, it's incredible. I mean, Australia is very beautiful too, as is California. I can't complain about any of these places. But there's mountains and ocean and lakes and just incredible. So I fell in love with it a little bit as a city. And then I was fortunate to work on some cool shows. And yeah, I've had a great time up there.
Amazing. And you've been studying screenwriting and directing for a really long time, and you have your master's in it.
Well, I don't know about for a long time, but I did get my master's in Australia when I was quite young. I was very ambitious, and I was working as an actor, and I was really passionate about some really great TV. I was watching The Wire, and basically just got all, I'm going to make shows like this one day. And so I went to film school, and quite quickly during that is when I got essentially brought out to the US. So
Right.
I did the program, got it done, and then thought at some point I'm going to start actually making my own stuff. And then it's been really cool working in television, working with some great directors and on some really cool shows. It's really influenced my imagination, I guess. And so I finally did write a film just over a year and a bit ago, and we shot it last year in the summer in Vancouver. Oh, no, sorry, not Vancouver, but rural British Columbia, which is the province that Vancouver's in. And now we're in post-production and should be finished any day. So, yeah.
And we can say the name, right? It's not spoiling anything.
You can absolutely say the name.
It's hunting season,
Hunting
correct?
season,
And
yes.
so whenever this starts to come out, how could we find it? If it's just, is it going to start in film festivals? Is that...
Yeah, that's right. So we'll be looking at film festivals, and that'll be our first point of call, and then beyond that, looking to develop it. We've got some really cool people on board. A few people I met doing the TV show The Magicians, and just we've had a lot of support from a couple of different show people that I've worked with, and it's been a really great labor of love, but also very inspiring. So yeah.
Well, it's inspiring to see. You obviously you've directed, you've written, you were an actress, and you have your masters. I mean, you're a full package there, which is amazing, and that's just so inspiring to other women that are in the industry. And so, I mean, it can be done, and you're doing a phenomenal job at it.
Yeah.
Well, I should say I did not direct hunting season. I wouldn't throw myself under that bus right away. I did write it, and I do act in it, and I had a hand in producing it, but I also had a lot of amazing people helping me with that and guiding me, which has been fantastic.
Okay.
But I do think it's so important for people, especially women, and it's been really inspiring working with some great female directors too, on Siren, on The Magicians, specifically because those are the most recent female directors I've worked with in TV. I think we do need to be out there telling our stories, and if we do want to make these changes in the industry, I think we have to be putting our name to them and committing to projects and writing stuff and getting it out there.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally. And speaking of Magicians, which is something that you've recently worked on, season 3, and you play Victoria, you have some really exciting news for us. Would you like to do the honors?
Well, drama. So yeah, I'm going to be attending Universal Fan Con at the end of April in Baltimore, so it's going to be super fun. There's a bunch of Magicians cast going down there. Or is it down? I mean, it's directly across the country from LA, I guess.
Kind of. It's
Going all the way to the East Coast, and that's going to be super fun. And I know they've got some pretty interesting parties in store for us, or at least one, where there might even be some singing.
Oh my gosh.
Joke's on you guys, because I can't sing.
I was about to ask you, like, you sing too? I'm like, okay.
No. So, yes, the impression you did of the Siren song at the beginning of the episode, mine would be far worse than that. But you know what? It's going to be fun. Yay. I'm really excited, and it's really great to meet with some of the fans of the show. Certainly when I was doing my episodes in season 3, I had some awesome fans creating some really cool fan art and just kind of getting in touch with me, and they love the show, and it's a great show. So yeah, really excited about that.
So exciting. And guys, that's in Baltimore FanCon, April 27th through 29th.
That's it.
So exciting. I can't even believe it's the end of April already, or it's about to be.
It's like middle
crazy to me.
April
Correct.
Yeah, I know.
And tomorrow is Friday the 13th, beginning of April, which is apparently a lucky day, because I started to think, oh dear, what's going to happen tomorrow? And then I thought, no, it's meant to be lucky. Yes.
Be optimistic about it.
That's right.
Wait, jumping back just a second, since you said there's going to be singing involved, does that mean karaoke possibly?
It could mean a little, I can say there's karaoke. Yes.
Do you have a go-to karaoke song?
You know what, you guys, maybe you can help me with this. So there's a couple that I could sing. So, I mean, my first professional job out of drama school, unfortunately for me, was a musical, which is hilarious because I'm not a great singer and I don't particularly like musicals, but I had to, not only was I in this musical, but I had to open the show.
Oh, wow.
Singing Kids in America. So I was thinking maybe I could revamp that.
Right.
I mean, you already had the experience, so you just have to practice a little bit more.
Might not be as terrifying. But then I really like Brass in Pocket, which is the one that Scarlett Johansson's character in Lost in Translation sings in that karaoke song. Scene, you know, the one with Bill Murray? So there's that, or I don't know, what tell me your go-tos. Maybe you can inspire me.
Mine is Friends in Low Places.
I don't even know that song.
It's by Garth Brooks. It's like, I got friends in low places.
It's like a cry into your drink song?
Yeah, it's a fun crowd one because everybody will just start
sing
singing along.
Okay.
Those
Another
are the
one
best
is
ones.
Sweet Caroline.
Great
Sweet
choice.
Caroline.
Yes.
You gotta
Into
do
that.
crowd pleasers because then everybody joins in with you and they think
then
you're
they
the
can't
best.
hear you.
Yes, and
Yeah.
not worry
I need
about
a crowd
you.
pleaser.
Yeah.
What is yours?
Mine is I Want to Dance with Somebody.
Oh,
by Whitney.
that's a good one.
Anthem!
And it's horrible. I mean, I can't
But it
even
goes
sing.
very
It's horrible.
high.
I know. I don't sound good. But everyone knows the words, so people usually sing along, but
It's got that really big key change, doesn't it? Yeah.
It sure does.
It's like
I don't know
Total
why I
Eclipse
say
of the
that.
Heart.
I don't know, but it's one of my favorite songs.
That's amazing.
And what is yours?
I don't think I have one. I've only done karaoke when I was in Scotland, and I didn't really know a lot of the songs besides It's a Party in the USA by Miley Cyrus. That's the one, like, I don't know, like, that's the one that I would choose, but it's a fun one, and a lot of people know it, and a lot of people will go, like, crazy for it.
Yeah.
That might not be a bad one either.
Yeah.
Okay.
Any crowd pleaser, you're safe.
Yeah, just look
Yeah.
up crowd pleaser songs,
Okay,
and
I
you'll
gotta
get
do
an
homework.
awesome playlist.
It's gonna be all right. I'll send you guys maybe the results.
Yeah.
I would love that. Karaoke is like one of my favorite things to do. So I'm excited for you for that. Also, very exciting news is that May is going to be a really great month for you. You have a lot of fun projects coming up.
It's gonna be busy. Yes.
The end of May, you have Reverie coming out.
So Reverie, yeah.
sorry.
Absolutely. Reverie is a new series on NBC. So we shot the pilot of that last year, and they've been busy shooting away. It's premiering May 27th, I believe, or 29th. I have to just check in my mind. Yeah, one of those. It's going to be great. It's about virtual reality, and I know they were just at WonderCon, and that looked amazing. It stars Sarah Shahi, who is absolutely phenomenal, and that's going to be a really cool new show. So I'm doing a little bit on that show. And then I'm also in a series called Colony, which is coming
I've
back for a
heard of
third
it,
season.
yes.
Yeah, which is really exciting. Great cast, and it looks to be a really great season. Certainly everyone's saying they think it's going to be the best season so far. And yeah, so very excited about that too.
So many great things in the pipeline coming along, which is awesome. And then obviously Siren, we're going to see a little bit more Janine, so that's exciting.
Yes, Janine is definitely on her way up in Siren, so kind of developing there, which is very exciting. And the show in general, it's just going to keep building, so I'm very excited for that.
Of course, well, and obviously it's kind of a large cast for this show. What was it like on set being with them? Is the camaraderie so much fun?
Oh, so fun. Yeah, I think I've worked on shows with big casts before, and Siren, I think what's so fun about it is it's a really international cast. Most of the leads are from the UK. Rena's obviously Kiwi. I'm Australian. And then you've got, I think Ian is from the US. But aside from that, I think most people are international. And that was really fun too, because everyone was having a similar experience away from home in this place, shooting the show. And yeah, there were no egos. People were so generous, so kind and grateful to be there, and really just appreciative of everyone's different skills and energies. And yeah, I mean, it's still a super fun group even to be with now. And I think you can even see just the social media around it, and everyone very supportive of each other. And yeah, I couldn't have asked for a more awesome group of people. And I should also say Curtis, who plays Calvin, he and I were actually friends before we ended up on this show together. And it's just hilarious that we had this like saucy scene the other week, and I just remember us looking at each other before it all happened, and we're like, wow, this is really happening right now, like we have to make out.
Oh my god.
But I mean, he's a cute guy, so it wasn't that bad. But still a bit was like, you're kind of like my brother, But yeah, I couldn't have asked for a better partner in crime to be doing that with too, because
Totally.
no complaints.
And I was watching a clip on your Instagram where you guys had fans and you had an ice pack on it. I'm assuming it was extremely hot. Tell
that
us about
hot that he needed an ice pack? No. It was really warm in the summer that particular day. I think Ian commented it was like hottest day ever. It was actually a super hot day, like over 30 degrees Celsius. I don't know what. I never understood Fahrenheit.
I think it's around the 90s or something.
It was really, really hot. And of course, we're in a studio. It's all like packed in with the crew, everything. And yeah, basically the poor PAs and on set deck had to keep giving us ice packs to like put all down, whatever. Not that we were wearing many clothes, but yeah, they had to like find ways to fit them in to various crevices, and then they also gave us these portable fans to hold just to keep us cool so we weren't sweating the whole time. So it was very, very hot. And then of course as the seasons progress, it gets freezing cold, and they're coming around with hot water bottles and heat packs. Opposite problems.
crazy. Yeah, that kind of adds, I guess, to the memories though, because then it's something that you'll always remember.
Oh, yes.
You can look back
And
on.
any of those scenes, like, they're like the least sexy things to film ever. It's always awkward, and yeah, there's things like heat, the crew just being right there.
Yeah.
Hi, guys.
Well, I think I've heard other actors talk about it. The audience doesn't realize how actually choreographed it is as well. So it's not this big actual steamy thing. You have to kind of go through the motions of what they've told you.
Totally.
Yeah.
So you don't, it's a little hard to get swept up in it. I say that.
Totally. Well, one last thing, because we are kind of running out of time. I want to do a fun little short version of This or That Mermaids edition.
Okay.
Alrighty. So, it's gonna, obviously you just choose this or that, whichever one you prefer. Would you rather be a siren mermaid or a Disney mermaid?
Siren mermaid. No offense to Ariel. Love you, but
They are a little bit more intense.
Yeah.
So crazy. Okay, sashimi or fried fish?
sashimi.
Sashimi, I love it. Beach or the mountains?
Beach. But I love both.
The ocean or a pool?
Ocean.
Ocean. Ben or Calvin?
Oh my god.
That is such a hard question, but Calvin.
Amazing. Oh my gosh. So much fun. That was it. But that's all I have. Oh my gosh. Well, yeah, if you would have said Ben, I think we would have been like, what's happening there?
I think I would have had to answer.
Actually,
a few
you
more
even saying that makes me think like a lot of different things.
more theories.
More
I like it.
theories.
We'll have to get a drink after the show. Tell me all these theories. I'll go back to the writer's room. Guys, I got some new stories for you.
Great idea.
Too funny. Well, before we get into our predictions, we love giving a shout out to our fans, especially those of you who are in the chat. We appreciate you watching every week, and we love your feedback. We love everything you have to say, so please don't stop tweeting us and don't stop joining us every week because we love shouting you out. This week is, I don't know if I'm saying this right, but it's Klex Vander's X. I think it's Klex Anvers X. Not exactly sure, but we want to say thank you so much. I saw all of your thoughts and theories, and you're amazing. We still appreciate you guys, and it's so much fun to know that there's all these Siren fans out there.
Yeah, they're watching.
Thank you so much, guys.
Of course. And every week we do predictions, and obviously you can say a fake prediction if you'd like, or you can just keep quiet because I know you probably don't want to spoil anything. But
I'm gonna sit back.
Carla, what are your predictions?
Now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
So one of my predictions is I think we're going to get to see Atlantis. And I think and the reason why I think this is because there's a certain point where they're tracking her and they lose sight of where she is. So clearly that she went into a space where like nobody knows and they don't know what it is. And we were told by Rena last week that there's a merman that comes. Who is that merman? How does this merman come about? Where do we meet the merman? So I have a feeling that we get to see a little bit of their life underwater before they come back up with merman.
That'd be so fun. Except my only thing is, whenever we see them underwater, they don't talk.
Right.
They only sing.
They're like
Yeah.
they're creatures underwater.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. But I'm liking that. I'm liking that.
Okay.
Hannah's like smiling like,
I just love that Rena dropped the M-bomb. Merman.
He said he was really good looking, so we were like, okay, well, we're all here for it.
What we're seeing that running trend of the mermaid species so far, so I wouldn't be
Right.
surprised.
Exactly. Oh
Sarah,
my
what are you
gosh.
thinking for next week?
I think, well, I was really interested in like how it ended, how Rin and her sister were just kind of swimming away. So I'm okay, how is she going to come back? So I feel like she's going to eventually come back because maybe she misses Ben, and there's going to be something happening. I think there's going to be a rift between Ben and Maddie in that like he is so like he really wants to know where she is. He's thinking about her all the time, like what is going on? Is an attraction there?
great
So Rin is
point.
coming back for him. He can't stop trying to look for her. So.
That's a great point because obviously it'll probably they'll grow tension towards each other because they're both frustrated and they're gonna want to find out more information. Oh my gosh, that's amazing! I love when I hear your guys' predictions because it makes my brain spin and think of other things. My prediction is I totally think that Chris is going to be a merman or obviously have some sort of certain mermaid something or other tendencies. And like you said, that he might have those skills that Helen has. And I think that means that maybe Helen had a mermaid past. And maybe if it's something that she was able to figure out how to stay on land longer, I'm not really sure. Maybe her parents are half mermaid, half human, not really sure, something along that line. And then one last prediction is, I think I agree with you guys. I think, I'm going to agree and say that I think Rin's definitely going to come back and she's going to have some sort of, she's going to miss them because she started to grow a connection and she was feeling really comfortable around them. So
and she has to come back. She's like,
right.
We need you back, Rin.
That's definitely something that I haven't even thought about is how she would come, what's going to draw them.
Bring her to back.
Right, and what's going to draw them out of the water for good. You know, because there's going to be something, I think, that is underlying to where they have to get out of the water and there's nothing else that will keep, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There has to be some major factor.
Well, Rin did say in this last episode that they need food.
Right.
So that does raise, I thought that raised some really interesting environmental concern points.
Yeah.
Of just what's happened to their food source or what's really been going on there. So that also.
That's true.
But whether that's enough to keep them coming back or if it's something stronger, is it that she's developed feelings for Ben or Maddie or so
These relationships with like Helen and
but if there's two of them and potentially a merman out there somewhere, then maybe there's more, and who knows, you know, if they need food and they need to start coming to land, we could have some kind of mermaid revolution on our hands. I don't know.
Exactly.
It definitely, it could go many ways.
So many ways. So many ways this show could take us, and we're so excited to see what the rest of the season has to hold. Hannah, thank you so much for joining. It has been such a pleasure. Before we wrap it up, where can they find you on social media?
Well, if you're on Twitter, and I hope you are, because then you can live tweet with the cast on Thursday nights, I'm at Hannah Levien. And if you're on Instagram, then come follow me at Hannah Levien Official. Same on Facebook, because you can see stories and all that stuff from me and the rest of the cast.
Yes, and then of course, guys, FanCon!
Yes,
please
come to FanCon. Please come say hi, especially if you watch this. Tell them I want to meet you and hear all about it.
Amazing. Carla, where can they find you?
Hey guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I'm your host, Karla Beltran. You can follow me on Instagram at I am Karla Beltran, and on Twitter at Karla Beltran with an R at the end.
Sarah.
And you can find me on Twitter at Sarah Lyons, Lioness with a Y, and on Instagram, Sarah_Lioness.
And hey guys, Ali Nasta here. Find me on Twitter at Ali Nasta and on Instagram at Ali Girl. And of course, follow AfterBuzz TV on all social media platforms. We will see you later.
Ciao!
Live from Los Angeles, California.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Keven Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
See you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.